It's another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Welcome to the program. I'm Nwaghodoh. On the program today, our discussion with the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of May and Baker Nigeria PLC, Patrick Ajah, reveals the successes made in the organization and the industry, including efforts by the organization to add value to humanity. Once again, welcome to the program. May and Baker Nigeria PLC is one of the foremost pharmaceutical companies in the world, with its history going almost 2 centuries ago. Let's tell you more about their history and, of course, the journey in Nigeria. May and Baker Nigeria PLC has its origin in England, the United Kingdom, and was registered on September 4, 1944. The company has transformed from an appendage of its overseas founders to become not just one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria, but a world-class conglomerate. This remarkable journey is traced to the unrelenting efforts of the company's helmsmen who formed the organization in 1834. May and Baker Nigeria Limited became a publicly quoted company following its listing by introduction on the Nigerian Stock Exchange on November 10, 1994, and became May and Baker Nigeria PLC. The company later began an aggressive expansion and diversification program, which culminated in the creation of new businesses and subsidiaries. In 2005, Biovaccines and Local Vaccine Production subsidiary was set up in partnership with the federal government of Nigeria. May and Baker operates under 2 major business units and 4 subsidiaries. These are the pharmaceutical business, the beverages business, and the foods business. Over the years, May and Baker PLC has shown leadership in the Nigerian healthcare industry through strategic initiatives that have revolutionized the sector. Let's find out what the journey is being like for the MD CEO of May and Baker Nigeria PLC, Patrick Ajah. As Nigeria's first pharmaceutical company operating in the country for more than 80 years, how would you describe the journey so far?
Actually, I think it's been an amazing journey, obviously driven by very strong and consistent leadership. May and Baker started in 1944, September 4 to be precise. And since then, I think many other companies like us would have changed names and changed a whole lot of things. But this company has been consistent. We started as a subsidiary of the UK arm of the company. First started importing products from UK, selling in West Africa. But obviously with time, we had to focus more on Nigeria. And with a whole lot of things happening, it became an indigenous company. In 1976, we obviously built the first factory. And if you just look across the road, that was the first factory. And that obviously started the journey to leading in not just importing products and selling, but also developing capacity in Nigeria. And that factory, I still remember when I was in the university, as a pharmacy student, we used to come to this factory, for industrial visit. And you can imagine then I look at the place and I wonder, oh, wow, can I ever get a chance to work in this place? See where we are. So in 2011, obviously this factory became too small and we decided to build an ultra-modern facility in Ogun State, the Pharma Center, which I believe is one of the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. I think the crowning of that exercise was in 2014 when WHO certified it for CGMP. So it became one of the factories certified by WHO. And I think that was a high point in our journey because then you could validate that this factory is just like any other factory you can get in any other part of the world. I think that was significant. Of course, being the first, you have a lot of challenges, economic downturns and all of that. But I think we've done quite well, been consistent, providing support for Nigeria and all of that. So really, I must say, it's been an amazing journey, and we really hope it continues that way.
So according to you, quality is the hallmark of your organization. How have you been able to maintain that over the years?
Yeah, I said, number one, we were a subsidiary of the UK company. So it obviously meant that if you're going to produce products from the UK company, you have to align with their standard. So that was actually the beginning for us, because they had to make sure that the things produced in that factory was consistent with the quality of the products you could bring from outside of the country. That was one. But for us, really, quality is everything. The kind of products we do are not the kinds of products you want to cut corners or play with. I mean, look, if you take paracetamol and it doesn't work, you're going to know it doesn't work. So for us, not just as the company, but as the people we serve, we know that it might be expensive to keep a good quality, but it's more expensive to get problem with your product outside, what it does to your image, the confidence of your patients. So for us, really, quality is everything.
How would you describe the pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria, especially with the ease of doing business in the country?
I would say that, especially now, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult in the sense that there are a whole lot of things you have to grapple with. We particularly have had some of those challenges in terms of a lot of monitoring. Sometimes you really don't quite know who you're answerable to. NAFDAC, ease of doing business is quite difficult. And of course, we'll have the regular challenges of power. For many companies like us, you really have to provide your own power. So when you really compare with other countries and other companies, it's very expensive. So the ease of doing business, of course, the devaluation. We go through this every day. It's difficult to plan with an exchange rate that works for a whole year. So most of the time, we go ahead, what is the official exchange rate? They said it was 360. We planned with 450. But I can tell you, we're not even getting 450 right now. So it's very, very challenging. And even at that, when you have the money to secure the Forex, is difficult. And that brings me, obviously, to another very challenging aspect of doing business in the country, especially for our kinds of products. Almost 90% of your input materials are imported. So not only are you looking for Forex, you're also grappling with the import procedures. And when you even import these products, to clear them here is challenging. There's tariffs. And I know that there was a time that pharmaceutical companies, because of the kinds of products we do, were exempted from some of these tariffs. But that has already gone. So you're worrying with tariffs. And apart from tariffs, before your products leave the port to the factory, that's another very difficult situation. So a whole lot of this really make it difficult for manufacturers like us. So you could say that government could actually make these things a bit easy. Ease of doing business is a challenge. And especially now that we're going into this after thing, you find out that you're going to be competing with other countries around. So chances are some other companies are going to come to Ghana or to some other countries and build something. And if they find it easier to manufacture than you do, you have all these things flooding into Nigeria. So it's really something that we're going to critically look into.
So we talked about you having to import almost every item you use to make these products. Have you ever thought of local production, investing in research, and making sure local content is actually used for products that you make?
That's actually a fantastic question. And as a company, that's the place that I think, and probably I might get a chance to talk a little bit more about it. Research is very low in Nigeria. And I tell you, it will need the companies, it will need the government. We had research institutes across the country. I mean, way back when I was in the university, some of my lecturers were involved in research. But all of this has gone down. Some universities, I remember when I was in University of Ibadan, we had an affiliation with London School of Pharmacy and a couple of other companies abroad. So you can find our lecturers, our professors are sent on external postings and all of that. And companies actually fund some of this. In fact, most of the products that many companies manufacture, some of them come from research institutes. But for the last 2 or 3 decades, not much has been done in that regard. So you find out that active ingredients, other input materials are imported. But as a company, that's one of the areas that we are very keen on investing in because we think it's not going to be sustainable. We cannot keep importing everything from outside of the country. And you could see what happened with the COVID. Some of the things you wanted to import for 6 months, they are not coming in. And already, hopefully, later we'll get to talk about the issue of vaccines because you find out that when push comes to shove, other countries are going to take care of themselves first before you. So I think that's one area that Nigerian companies, especially in partnership with government, need to look into. Research and development. We're very, very weak in those areas. And as a company, that's part of our vision. That's one area we hope to invest a lot more to make sure we develop local capacity and depend less on imported products.
So apart from ensuring your delivery of quality products to the people, tell us these other areas that you focus on in terms of sustainability and, of course, helping the society grow as an organization.
Yeah, obviously, things like CSR, capacity development, is very important to us. We as a company, in a couple of years ago, we invested on travel fellowships. These are opportunities of helping our professionals, medical professionals, pharmaceutical research professionals, get knowledge that allows them to be able to participate in R&D here in the country. So that's one area that we invest in terms of there are exchange programs that our professors need to do, either with universities abroad or other companies that have facilities that we do not have. So we invest in those kinds of things as a way of training capacity that we could use internally. Another very important part is technology transfer. If we're going to be self-sustaining, we need to have people who are going to manage these things when eventually. So if I want to produce a product, even way back when we were affiliated to the parent company, that technology needs to be transferred to us. But in the past, what has happened is when there's a technology transfer, you're going to need an expatriate to come. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So now we are investing in transferring these people to go learn how it's done so they can come back here and manage it. We've not done that efficiently, but that's one area that we're investing because that's one way of ensuring that the next generation of R&D people are developed either in universities or even in companies like this. So that's one way we think society could be helped, apart from just investing in some other CSR activities, which I'm glad to talk about, and there are quite a number of them that we do.
The Travel Fellowship Award is just one of the many initiatives you help in driving the education sector and improving it. Tell us about it, and of course the other initiatives you do to help the education sector.
Thank you very much. The Travel Fellowship was actually, I mentioned a little bit before that back when we were in school, there were these exchange fellowships between universities, but we know what the economy is like. Many of those schools cannot afford them. So companies have to come in to help. So our travel fellowship was an opportunity to train our professors from some of the leading universities and research fellows in getting them trainings abroad. Sometimes it could be within the country, but if we find areas where some of these training gaps exist, we sponsor professors, we sponsor R&D professionals to go abroad to places where they can get more training. And the company initiated this as bridging the gap with some of these universities that cannot afford to do that. For instance, there's something that we're doing right now that I think is very, very important. Most of our research institutes are not properly funded. So what it means is you have resource, people with experience. Some of these people you sent abroad, they do not have facilities to research and develop some of the products. So we're currently partnering with some of the research institutes. The Nigeria Institute for Pharmaceutical Research and Development is one of those institutions. And I can tell you, one of the products that they developed are products that only Nigerians could develop because sickle cell is a problem here. Abroad, they don't have much of sickle cell, so they don't work in those areas. One of the products that you probably will see in this is what we call Nwaghodoh. Nwaghodoh is helping to manage sickle cell crisis, which was a major problem. That product was developed by the Nigerian Institute for Pharmaceutical Research, and we partnered with them to develop it. and we are marketing, we've commercialized the products. They get royalties, we commercialize it. And because of other projects like that, FIRO, we're doing work with FIRO, and some other professors who are developing stuff. Very soon you're going to be hearing about it, and that's why I say you better come back, because before the end of the month, NAFDAC is going to give us final approval. We are launching a state-of-the-art herbal factory in our facility in Ota. It's going to be the first of its kind, and it's dedicated mostly to encourage these professors who are Nigerians working hard to develop these medicines. So Nyclovis is going to be manufactured there, and a couple of other things.
When Kaleidoscope returns in a moment, we'll continue the conversation. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. As we round up the conversation, let's find out what the future holds for the pharma company. In 2005, you started the Professional Service Award in Pharmacy. What's the impact of this award? How has it been going so far? And what impact does it have on the beneficiaries and the industry as a whole?
Thank you so much. Of course, you know, pharmacy is our constituency. Some of the things I talked about in terms of developing capacity in our schools and all of that, we also wanted to extend the same thing to other arms of the profession. So you have different areas of pharmacy. It could be manufacturing, it could be community practice, it could be customer service and all of that. So the Pharmacy Award really ties to one of our core values, which is innovation. So we really want people who are very innovative in doing what they do, either in the way they serve the community, in community practice, or it could also be research, like I just mentioned about research institute, people coming up with something. So it's a way of throwing the challenge to professionals in their different fields of endeavor. So what you get is a healthy competition. Every year, they look forward to it. Every year in November, we have the PSN conference. That's like the biggest pharmacy event in the country. So what we've done is we've partnered with PSN to launch this award, and it's announced every year, and different pharmacy professionals in their different fields of endeavors are working hard. What do we have to compete with and all of that? And they submit whatever they think is innovative that could fit into this award. PSN has a panel, an independent panel. We are not involved. So that panel is going to look at all the submissions. Which one is really very innovative? Which one really addresses the current needs of the country and all of that? And the panel will come, sit together, review all the submissions, and they select the best. So when they select the best, that's when we come in. So we'll give this award. So every November at the PSN award, there's always a special slot for the Pharmacy Award where we come with a check, and the leaders of PSN will present it to the eventual winner.
In the last 2 decades, you have intensified your charity visits. Who are your beneficiaries, and how's it been faring since you started?
Yeah, actually, CSR is something that is very close to us as a company. And like you said, we've intensified our efforts, because you find out that the more you get involved, the more opportunities you see to be good to these people. And it aligns with our mission. Our mission actually is to improve the quality of life throughout life for all lives. It will not be complete if it doesn't include all lives. And we know that all lives there especially means some people who are less privileged. So we've started these visits. I think we started with SOS Children Village in Solo. And sometimes the reaction you get when you visit these people is really very heartwarming. And we have extended it to a whole lot of other orphanages. You know, there's one at Nwaghodoh, and a couple of them. There's the School for the Blind, and so many other charity organizations that we do every year. And as a company, we look forward to it because it's an opportunity to really extend a hand of fellowship to these people who are sort of less privileged. And sometimes, frankly, a visit to some of these places really will teach us a whole lot of lessons. You know, so we've been doing quite a bit. Unfortunately, with COVID, it's been a bit difficult to go physically. So what we've been doing is every year since COVID started, we look at, and sometimes they also send requests. So we look at some of the requests, we'll send some of our operatives to go make the donations to them, give cash when necessary. But it's something very close to the heart of the company.
May & Baker has also made positive impacts in various sectors. I mean, you have health, you have power, you have environment, security, you support communities. With special programs or initiatives that you carry out, tell us what your experience has been like.
It's actually been very good. You did talk about health, and of course, we are connected to health. So what it means is as we go around, we look at places where there are gaps. And we actually found, especially we started in Anambra State, we found that some of the public hospitals are not properly equipped, especially with children. So you know when you come to children wards, there are things that should make these children not be scared of getting treatment and all of that. So we decided to renovate some of those wards. So what it means is provide good beds, things to play with. So you see cartoon characters all over the place. So when the children are coming into the hospital, they do not have the fear of injection and all of that. They're already seeing their character heroes and all of that. So it makes them more at home. So we renovated a couple of hospitals like that. In Lagos also, we identified that some schools, which is another place, for instance, some schools do not have first aid, they do not have sick bays, and we think these are things that we need to do. So we renovated, we actually built 3 sick bays for some schools in Lagos. In 3 schools, we built the sick bay. Part of that is put the beds there. So some of them don't even have like potable drinking water, and we make lily water. So we put the dispenser there, put lily water, and we supply them the bottles to fill it and all of, so that if there's an issue in school, they could go to the sick bay and they take care of it. So we did that in 3 schools, and it was wonderful. So what we do every year, we go back there and see, are there things they lack? Are there things that are not available? So we'll help them with those things. So those are some of the things that we've done in health, in spite of many other things like partnering with health screening and all of that. And in any sector where we find opportunities, we're always glad to do it. On environment as well, the Lagos State has the themes agenda. Part of the themes agenda involve health, it involves transport, it involves environment and education. So we just felt that as a company, we can partner in some of these areas. So we have chosen education, health, and the environment as areas where we could support the Lagos State government. So what we do is, on environment, from the major road before you turned in our background, if you came very early, you probably will see the Loma people sweeping the road and all of that. So we've adopted that road as our part of the contribution to keeping the environment clean. So we'll pay the salaries of the cleaners and we'll kit them, and it's very nice when you see our logo and the kit that they wear. So we'll make sure that we do that as a way of supporting to ensure we have a clean environment. This area, there are many factories around here. The police post that is in charge of this area is called the Man Center. In 2018, they really had challenges with, in the night, they need to do patrol of the area. They didn't have vehicles. You can imagine sometimes you see the vehicles that these guys are using break down and all of that. And me and Baker, we've had a good relationship with the police post at the Man Center. And we're constantly looking for ways of partnering with them. So when we saw that they had that challenge, we had to donate a Hilux truck to help them in patrol, and it was quite appreciated by them. But in doing that, we also found that there are some other things they need. They didn't have first aid boxes and all of that. So we decided to put first aid box in the Man Center as well. Every year, we'll get a list of what is required to fill those first aid boxes, and we'll fill them every year.
77 years gone. Let's talk about the next 77 years. What are you hoping to see going forward? in your business and your service to humanity?
Well, 77 years is a long time away. And of course, I don't know how many of us are going to be here in 77 years. But actually, I think our predecessors in the last 77 years have done a great job. So it behoves on us to make sure that the next 70 years will be better than the one that we've seen. And one of our new vision, the new vision we've crafted as an organization, is to be a leading healthcare brand in sub-Saharan Africa. I see already our responsibility to kickstart that vision. So in essence, in the next couple of years, I believe that the major challenge we have is not just making impact in Nigeria, but extending our reach to sub-Saharan Africa. Like I said, we have a facility that is one of the best in sub-Saharan Africa, WHO pre-qualified. So other Africa need to get a share of this, and our capacity is quite big. Currently, we have the ability to produce more than 6 billion tablets a year, more than 37 million bottles of syrups in a year. So some of these other countries need to get a share of it. So I believe that our challenge, kickstarting the next 77 years, will be make sure that we'll reach and become a leading healthcare brand in sub-Saharan Africa. And I believe that in the next 2 years, we were almost going to do groundbreaking this year. Hopefully before the end of the year or early next year, we're going to do the groundbreaking of BioVaccines facility in Nigeria. It's going to serve the whole of Africa. Chances are, if the pandemic continues, or who knows what is coming next, by the time it happens again, we'll be ready. And not just that, routine immunization, we should be able to make it in the country. And we're working hard to make sure that BioVaccine comes on stream to make sure that our children don't keep dying through routine immunization that we could sort out as a country.
And that's the program for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, you can keep up with past editions of the program. Go to youtube.com/channelsweb, click on playlist, then scroll to Kaleidoscope and watch past editions and the one you missed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll definitely see you again soon. Stay safe. I'm Nwaghodoh.